economic power from centralized institutions back into the hands of the people. It's transformation. The wrong leadership, our past administration, feared this transformation. They did everything they could to kill it.
Well, I think the dollar is the linchpin of global financial markets. So we get what's called the exorbitant privilege of people wanting to hold dollar-denominated assets. So that makes the cost of funding in the United States less than if the dollar was not viewed as, the key currency in the global economy.
And so Ivan goes, who I could text, who I think could come through is Brad Garlinghouse. So Ivan texts Brad at 7 a.m. Brad responds immediately, says, no problem, guys, meet me at the Waldorf Astoria at 10:45 in the morning.
What we discovered is due to a design flaw about 10 years ago, there is an extremely improbable situation, like tens of millions to one, in which the network can get into a state as a whole where that state is stable. And so it will stay in that state. And of course, there should not be any stable state.
They try to shake me out, but I was born ready. Dropping down the price, then I'll be getting plenty. They want all your bags, and they want all them empty.
If you got a baggie, welcome to the party. Welcome back to some more Moon O'Clock News. No breakfast, no coffee, just straight extra bullishness. If you weren't able to climb the ranks on the XRP rich list, I hope you're buying up those dips. Top 10% holder, 2,500 XRP, right around $6,000. If you were buying it up around 50 cents, it could have gone in at $12.50. Shout out to the latest sub. Go ahead, throw on those moon suits, throw on those pilot shades, buckle up, because the future's extra bullish. Let's go full speed, full throttle into the cryptoverse with the total global cryptocurrency market cap today, 333 trillion. In the green today, up around 1.1% in the past 24. We got XRP right around $2.45, up about 1.7% in the past 24. We got BTC Bitcoin right around 97K, ETH right around 26, 27 hundo. We got Stellar XLM in the number 17 spot right around 33 cents. Don't forget to smash them likeys on the way in. We got subject views. Justin Bretton Woods committee chair says progress on cross-border payments will cement the dollar as the key reserve currency. Does anyone know of an American company tackling this problem?
Bill joins us now for more. Bill, welcome to the program. Lots of topics to cover. Let's kick off with this one right here. You started with a premise, so let's talk about it. The immense benefits from the dollar's dominance. Let's start there. But what are they?
Well, I think the dollar is the linchpin of global financial markets. So we get what's called the exorbitant privilege of people wanting to hold dollar-denominated assets. So that makes the cost of funding in the United States less than if the dollar was not viewed as, the key currency in the global economy. But that's not necessarily ordained forever, and there are steps we can do to make that more likely to be sustained in the future. And one thing is to make some progress on cross-border payments. Payments cross-border are extremely expensive, especially for small retail payments like remittances. They cost maybe as much as 6-7%. This could be brought down tremendously if we developed instant payment systems nationally and then linked them together. A number of countries have good instant payment systems. Brazil, India, for example. The U.S. is basically nowhere. We have two systems, but nobody uses them. Everybody uses cards and debit cards, Venmo or PayPal. So we need to do something to reinvigorate the U.S. instant payment systems. And then once we have that, we need to start to take steps and to link it together with other instant payment systems around the world. If we do that, we can actually lower the cost of payments dramatically and cement the dollar as the key reserve currency.
We got one from Crypto Eddie. A portion of the explanation for the reason why the XRP ledger experienced a temporary outage and restored itself after 64-minute halt.
So it looks like this is preliminary, and I'm not really committed to this. This is my analysis that not so many other people agree with, but I think we're pretty much close to understanding what happened. Basically, it's a design flaw that's about a decade old. Effectively, what happens is if you think about the XRP ledger as sort of like an emergent state, like each Bitcoin node has a state, but also sort of the Bitcoin network as a whole has a state. Like if a miner finds a block and it's in the process of being relayed, you can think of the network as a whole of having a state where a block's been found, but it hasn't been relayed to everyone yet. And so there's sort of like an emergent system level state that comes from every node. Every node knows its own state and makes its own local decisions. And as humans, we sort of understand that by speaking about the network as a whole as having an emergent state. And so when we say the XRP ledger is like in the middle of the consensus round for ledger 12, we mean that a significant number of validators are in that consensus round. We say, hey, it's closed the ledger. Some of them have, some of them have. There's sort of an emergent system state. And you can sort of draw a state machine for the system as a whole, even though no node really executes that state machine. Like the Bitcoin network is looking for a block, found a block, servers are sort of updating their states, they're working on the next block, and so on. What we discovered is due to a design flaw about 10 years ago, there is an extremely improbable situation, like tens of millions to one, in which the network can get into a state as a whole where that state is stable. And so it will stay in that state. And of course, there should not be any stable states. By design, the network should always be making forward progress. In every state, there should be something that should happen next and some set of entities that should do it. And of course, it shouldn't be reliant on one, if Bitcoin hasn't found a block in a while, there's no node that's supposed to find the next block, right? Everybody's supposed to work on finding the next block and someone will eventually find it. And they will, if you said, hey, the Bitcoin network is stuck, you're like, well, everybody's looking for a block. Who's supposed to find it? Well, someone is. And when they find it, they'll advance it. And since a lot of people can do that, it should not ever be stuck. Well, what happened is the XRP ledger actually got into a state where every server was happy. Every server was in the majority consensus round, or the vast majority of them were, so there was no reason for them to leave that round. No server saw consensus, so none of them ended the round, and no server saw any reason to change its vote on any transaction. Obviously, that should never, ever be possible, but it turns out there's an incredibly weird edge case that we never foresaw. In fact, we thought we had an argument that it's impossible, but it turns out there's a flaw in that argument, again, more than 10 years ago. So we're going to, obviously, the fix is belt and suspenders. First, fix the specific scenario that got us into this state with no subsequent state. Let's just fix that specific state problem. And then let's think more broadly about what kind of safeties. I think you saw Ed, submitted a patch that detects when consensus scheme's stuck without having to understand why it's stuck. It never should be stuck. But if it is stuck, to sort of give it a kick. And we're just trying to think through what's the right combination of fixes.
In case you missed it, Joe Cat said, so I guess this is public now. Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, and Mike Novogratz lent MoonPay $160 million to launch a Trump token.
Because it was just everything coming full force. Ivan comes running over to my room in his bathrobe. And so Ivan goes, you know who I could text? You know who I think could come through is Brad Garlinghouse. So Ivan texts Brad at 7 in the morning. Brad responds immediately. He says, no problem, guys. Meet me at the Waldorf Astoria at 10:45 in the morning. And Ivan goes into explaining to him, yesterday Novogratz gave us $100 million. Like, we underestimated this demand of this Trump token. And Brad goes, well, listen, same thing as Mike. I'm going to call our CFO and chief legal officer, see what we can do. Here's the deal. We want to help you, but you got to get Novo's team to approve it, which is fair. They helped us out the night before, and it was the right thing. To Galaxy's team's credit, they're like, listen, guys, if they repaper everything, you're never going to make your deadline at the end of the day. It was like 5 o'clock at night. What we suggest is, why doesn't Ripple wire the money to Galaxy, and then Galaxy can wire the money to MoonPay? And at 11:58 on Sunday, another $60 million comes through. Monday comes around and the acquirers start to pay us back from the floats in Europe, but it's still a holiday in the US.
CoinDesk, a total of $160 million loan from Galaxy headquarters in Ripple, played a key role in helping MoonPay handle the demand from the launch of the real Donald Trump's official meme coin when Trump was issued on January 18th. What are your guys' thoughts down below? We got Smoke Dog. We're not far from banks starting to handle and holding crypto on their balance sheets. Documented. When? Answer. Soon. We're not far from banks starting to handle and holding the crypto assets on their balance sheets. We got Tom Emmer. I'm honored to serve as the vice chair of the subcommittee on digital assets, financial technology, and AI.
And a new day for crypto innovation, opportunity, and excellence has finally arrived. Economic power from centralized institutions back into the hands of the people. It's transformation. The wrong leadership, our past administration, feared this transformation. They did everything they could to kill it. The right leadership, the Trump administration, welcomes this transformation, will do everything in their power to make the United States the crypto capital of the world.
The transformation of all value is upon us. We got breaking news, the Crypto Squire. Digital assets are not securities, and the lawsuits from the Gensler era should be dropped. Is this the beginning of the end for Overregulation.
I offer the following suggestions, which I believe are consistent with Commissioner Peirce's 10 priorities. The SEC should articulate a sound legal interpretation for when digital asset transactions are subject to the securities laws. A clean break is needed from the Gensler era's legal imprecision and sweeping assertion that nearly all digital assets are securities. The interpretation should begin with an acknowledgement that the digital asset itself is not a security. A disciplined, transaction-by-transaction analysis must be used to determine whether an investment contract is present because it is required by the case law and should be adhered to by the Commission. Second, the SEC should consider withdrawing Gensler-era litigation alleging unregistered exchange, broker-dealer, and clearing agency activity. So what can the SEC...
The regulation jar of molasses about to burst open. Where's XRP? My phone's ringing off the hook right now. Thinking crypto.
I must say, I'm senior counsel at Wilkie Farr & Gallagher. My phone is ringing off the hook right now with traditional finance leaders saying we need to meet, we need to talk about developing a viable digital asset strategy. I think within 12 years, maybe less, there's not going to be a new issuance of any type of security that's not on chain. That's how dramatic this changes. It's a dramatic technological change because it's much more than speculation. This is about a new architecture of finance, right? A digital network architecture of finance. Once you now have it supported by good regulatory policy, by good regulatory frameworks, this is going to take off on steroids. As I say, I would imagine within a decade, every type of security, whether it's a debt security or a municipal security or a government security or an equity security, are going to be issued on chain.
And in case you missed it, open up those DCENT apps. Make sure you update your app. DCENT app 2.0 is here. DCENT mobile app managed 38 plus 100 coins, NFTs, earnings, and one powerful Web3 app. Let me know what you guys think about the update down below. We got one from Coins Kid says, I've said it a million times. If you see the 5 ways up from the 0 fib, you become bearish. However, I actually think that XRP is an expanded flat correction since December of 2024, and the final 5th wave of the 3rd wave to the 2.618 is about to begin. And that's where he says he'll become bearish on XRP for a correction. Once more, how long will the wave 4 correction plays out is a guessing game, but I think we could see a bigger macro 5 wave up to the 1.272 fib right around $8 for XRP. We got Mustache L crypto altcoin season is not canceled, but you need more patience than last time. In my opinion, this really looks like the big brother of the 2014-2018 cycle. And we got egg rat crypto, double digits this cycle, triple digits next cycle. Just do it. You know what's coming. They know what's coming. And they can't stop it. And the longer they take, the higher we keep climbing on that XRP. Rich list, where will those baggies be when that regulation jar of molasses finally breaks open? An XRP's true price is finally revealed. We'll catch you up here on the mothership, BYOB. Bring your own bags, be your own bank, be your own boss. And don't forget to drop an elbow from the top ropes on that likey button. See you at the tippy top. Later, glitches.
Later, glitches.
Maxi, NC, it could not scale. Moon fam dancing, that rocket got stealth. Shitcoin, put it on the shelf. We headed towards the wealth. BTC, Maxi, Patsy, Moon fam clapping, they could not tell. Sheep trying to sell when it didn't turn out well. Blink of an eye, red candle, it all fell. Bitcoin was a demo, you ain't get the memo. Net memos, SEC settle, we blasting off the ghetto. Big bags on me, middle finger to the devils. Rocket fly itself, no keys, no pedals to the top, I need a medal. Stay holy in my